Hey guys, Harold Almost 4 here today, and I'm going to be reviewing dark comedy, The Voices. In The Voices, Ryan Reynolds hears a bunch of voices in his head. And I don't really see the problem, because I have voices in my head, and I'm fine.
Hey, Jim, give me a break.
Oh, okay, I'll tone it down a little bit. You have the greatest hair, Tom. In the back.
How are you doing, Jerry?
They like me at work.
Do you want to get a drink?
There's a girl. I like her.
Are you good with cats?
No, the real question is, are cats good with me? Because they pretty much own us.
Oh my god, yeah.
Sometimes they talk to my pets. And they sometimes talk to me, sometimes.
I get that.
So, first off, let me just say, I'm in a new location. What? It's craziness. Anyways. So, to start off, I'm just going to get this out of the way. This movie was really weird. And I actually struggled for a long time thinking about how I was going to do this review. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but I'm not saying it as a good thing. And I don't know.
You're out your league.
Shush.
Yeah, shut up, cat.
Do you ever hear voices?
Not really.
Jerry.
Hey, Fiona.
In her eyes, you're a ridiculous peasant. Kill her, and you will discover what it feels like to be truly alive.
Don't run! Mr. Whiskers, he makes me do bad things.
You totally stopped taking the pills, didn't you?
Totally.
So The Voices is basically about Ryan Reynolds playing this guy named Jerry. And Jerry's just like a really nice guy. He's like extremely likable. He works at a small factory in this town called Milton, and he's just friendly with everybody that he meets. But he has one tiny problem, and that's that he has a few mental issues. And sometimes he has full-on conversations with his dog and cat, Bosco and Mr. Whiskers. And sometimes he kills people accidentally, sort of. Yeah, so it's not the best situation to be in. Bosco and Mr. Whiskers are basically like the angel and the devil on a person's shoulder. Bosco is the good one, and Mr. Whiskers is the bad one. And Mr. Whiskers seems to win out a few times, because, you know, the killing thing isn't ideal. Yeah, so Bosco kind of sounds like Gary Busey, to be honest. I heard other viewers saying that too, and he does. And then Mr. Whiskers has like a Scottish accent. But what I thought was really interesting, and I didn't know this at first, was that Ryan Reynolds actually did the voices for both of them. So I thought that was interesting, because at first I didn't even realize it, and then afterwards I was like able to pick up, oh, that is him. But his voices were so different that I couldn't tell. And honestly, Ryan Reynolds was probably one of the big positives of this movie, not just for those characters, but for Jerry. He was able to make him extremely likable at first, but then also crazy, and then when the movie called for it to be serious, he was able to handle those parts. Also in the movie are Gemma Arterton and Kendrick, who play, I guess, sort of Jerry's main love interests in the movie. I guess you'd call them that, which is actually pretty funny, because part of this movie could be kind of taken as a romantic comedy. So I thought that whole aspect of the movie was pretty funny, how they played it out like that at some points. And in terms of their acting, Gemma Arterton, she did fine, like she did her job. But she's really not all there. That's a pun, because like she was ahead for most of the movie. I'm sorry. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry. Anyways, and then there's Kendrick, who I just love her. I think she's great in like everything that she does, honestly. Like Kendrick's just great. And then the other really main character is Jackie Weaver, who plays Jerry's therapist. And I actually really liked her character. Like, she was one of my favorite characters, because I think the scenes that she does have with Ryan Reynolds, they just had a really great dynamic together. So overall, all the actors really good in the movie. So thumbs up for that. Now let's get into the weird stuff. So, I think by just reading the plot of this movie, you know that, oh, this is going to be a weird movie. But I think the problem that I really had, and what made me so confused about how I felt about the movie, and I'm still really confused about how I felt about it, was that it's very inconsistent in its tone at times. And what I mean by that is that the first hour of the movie is very dark comedy, horror comedy, straightforward. And then after that, it gets really serious and dark. And I guess that fits in with the whole mental illness thing, but for me, it was just a really jarring change. So what happens in the first hour is more, like I said, more dark comedy. I was never really outwardly laughing, but I chuckled like a little bit a few times, and I thought some points were really clever. But then what I also liked was that it would delve into his mental illness, and then you'd be like, oh, that's actually a pretty sad moment. And you also got to see how he saw the world differently, and how he didn't want to take his medication to avoid reality and just live in this fantasy world where everything was all right. And you're like, at some points, like, this is actually a really sweet movie, even though it's about a guy that's like killing a bunch of people. But then at some point, it gets like around an hour, I would say, it's like, oh wait, this isn't really funny anymore. This is actually really disturbing and dark. And I get how they were probably trying to say something about mental illness with that, but for me and my personal taste, it was just way too jarring of a change where I'd just be like, oh, I actually really don't like that as much as I liked everything else. And then there'd be scenes where like I'm like, oh wait, I really like that. And there'd be scenes where I'm like, oh, like I don't know how I feel about that. And I think also, if you watch the trailer of this movie, it's played more as a straightforward horror comedy. So I think the advertisements of this movie were a little misleading. And I'm not even saying like the change in tone is a bad thing. It just made me really confused because it caught me off guard, and I really didn't know how to feel about it. And I still don't know. I have no idea what's going on. No idea. I'm just... And then the movie ends. And there's a song and dance number. And then I'm just like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand the world. I don't understand anything. It's so weird. So that's The Voices. It's funny at points. Sweet. Sad. Dark. Disturbing. Serious. A social commentary on mental illness. I honestly can't tell if I'm complimenting the movie or not. Like, I don't know. I don't even have a recommendation for this movie. I guess, like, if you don't like dark comedies, horror comedies, don't see it. If you do, see this movie. If you're curious, you know what? Go see it. In all seriousness, though, I think I just need to probably give this movie some more time. Maybe rewatch it to better form an opinion on it, because I don't even have an opinion on it right now. Here I am doing a review. I don't even have an opinion on it. I don't know. This is just this is a weird review. It's a weird movie.
What check and uncheck, Tongue, I got a girl named Lucy, lady drives me crazy.
Look what you did to me.
I'm so sorry. Jerry, you're a serial killer. No, he isn't.
You seem a million miles away.
I got a lot going on right now.
Pretty bad situation, buddy. Me out of that.
She makes me want to scream.
Mr. Whiskers, Dr. Warren, Fiona, cut it out!
Pretty complicated inside the human mind, huh?
What check and uncheck,
Oh, the best night of my whole life.
What a fab-cracking day to come back.
You're so mysterious. It's cool.
You remember last week when you said there was an invisible line that separates good from evil, and you thought you'd crossed it, and I said, no, you're a good boy?
Yeah, I remember. So what?
I've changed my opinion.
What check and uncheck,
As that's it for this review. Thanks for watching. Did you see the movie? Were you as confused as I was? Or did you actually have an opinion? Tell me in the comments below, because I'd honestly love to know. And as always, remember to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!